Today, we're diving into some really powerful ideas for unlocking our true potential. This whole analysis is based on the book Personality Development, which is a collection of the incredible teachings of Swami Vivekananda. So let's just start with a fundamental question, one we all probably ask ourselves. Is your mind your friend, or is it your enemy? You know, ancient wisdom says an undisciplined mind is like an enemy, but a trained mind? That's our greatest friend, our biggest ally.
And you know exactly how this feels, right? You decide you're going to change. You make a resolution, you're going to drop a bad habit, you want to be a better person. But then, almost like it's programmed, your own mind kind of rebels, and those old habits just pull you right back to where you started. It's so frustrating. So what is actually going on here?
To really understand why this happens, we had to kind of redefine what personality even is, which brings us to our first section. What is true personality? And trust me, it's probably not what you think.
You see, we usually think of personality as all the external stuff. How we look, the way we talk, polishing the outside. But Vivekananda's view, it goes so much deeper. For him, real personality is about the internal state of your mind. It's all about developing what's on the inside.
And as he says so perfectly, the personality of the man is 2/3, and his intellect, his words, are but 1/3. It's that inner energy, that character, that really has an impact on the world, way more than just being clever with your words.
Okay, so if our inner world is that important, how do we even start to understand it? Well, there's this ancient allegory that gives us a fantastic map. Let's get into section 2, your mind, a chariot.
So picture this. The body is the chariot itself. Our senses, sight, sound, touch, those are the wild horses pulling it. The mind is holding the reins, trying to guide those horses. Your intellect? That's the charioteer, the driver making the big decisions. And the master of the whole entire operation? Well, that's your true self.
So you can imagine what happens if the charioteer, your intellect, is kinda asleep at the wheel, and the horses, your senses, are just running wild all over the place. The chariot is definitely heading for a crash. And that, right there, is the state of an undisciplined mind. But here's where it gets really interesting. Beyond all this machinery, there's a source of incredible power. And this brings us to the absolute core idea of this whole explainer. Section 3, uncover your divine nature, the power source within. So we've got the chariot, the horses, the charioteer. But who is the real master here? What is there beyond our physical body and our mind that's always changing, always up and down? This is what the ancient seers called the Atman, the true self. This isn't the part of you that has a good day or a bad day. It's described as something permanent, something that is always free and completely fearless. It's the very core of who you are. And here it is, the central message from Swami Vivekananda himself. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within. So you see, it's not about becoming something you aren't. It's about revealing who you've been all along. And when you think about it, this reframes everything. What is real progress? What is a great civilization? It's not just about bigger buildings or faster tech. Vivekananda defines it as the manifestation of that divinity in man. Real progress is an inside job.
Okay, this is all incredibly inspiring, but how do we actually do it? Let's get practical. Section 4, how to forge character, a practical toolkit.
The path to real change isn't some lightning bolt moment. It's built slowly, day by day. The secret is right here in this quote. Character is repeated habits, and repeated habits alone can reform character. It all boils down to what you do consistently. So what are the keys to building these new, better habits? First, you gotta have faith in yourself. You have to believe in that divine potential inside you. Second, fill your mind with positive thoughts so they crowd out the negative ones. Third, self-reliance, knowing deep down that you are the maker of your own destiny. And finally, taking responsibility for your own life and blaming no one else for your faults. This just sums up that theme of empowerment perfectly. The power isn't somewhere out there. We are responsible for what we are, and whatever we wish ourselves to be, we have the power to make ourselves. The responsibility and the power, they're both yours. So, as we're forging this new character, what's the end game? What are we really shooting for? Our final section reveals the ultimate goal: strength, love, and freedom. Now, Vivekananda makes a really bold claim here. He says the single cause of all our misery, all our sorrow, all our mistakes is just one thing: weakness. It's that feeling of weakness that lets negative thoughts and bad situations completely overpower us.
So what do we do when we're faced with our problems? Usually our first instinct is to run away. But as Vivekananda learned in this amazing real-life story, running from your problems only makes them chase you faster and with more aggression.
In the story, he was surrounded by these aggressive monkeys, and a stranger just gave him this simple advice: face the brutes. And the moment he turned around to confront them, they scattered. The lesson is so clear and universal. You have to confront your fears. That's when they lose their power over you.
And beyond strength, the ultimate goal is love. Vivekananda presents this really startling idea. He says 90% of people are basically like ghosts. They're not truly alive because they aren't living a life of love.
The principle is just so simple and powerful. All love is life. It is the only law of life. All selfishness is death. To truly live, to truly manifest that divinity inside, it means to live for others. Unselfishness isn't just a nice moral idea. It's the very definition of being alive.
And that brings us right to the end of our analysis. But really, it's just a beginning. Knowing all this stuff is one thing, but taking action is everything. So the final question isn't for me, it's for you. What will you do, even if it's just one small thing, today, to manifest your divinity?